Kidnapped and found 1,000 miles away from home, the Lee County teen and family says that she was a victim of human trafficking.
Paying the price for a new health care bill. A new report could cost Senate Republicans the votes they need.
Doomed from takeoff, a pilot says he knew the Fort Myers plane crash was coming.
Summer heat, dry weather, even car crashes are resulting in thousands of acres out west going up in flames. NBC 2 News Today starts right now.
Live, the news you count on. NBC 2 News Today.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Lucas Silent.
And I'm Rachel Pierce. Thanks for starting your Tuesday here with us here on NBC 2 News Today. We're going to get you started with your first alert forecast with meteorologist Kristen Kershane joining us this morning. Good morning, Kristen.
Good morning. As we take a look outside here, things are pretty quiet for us. Really no big weather concerns as you head out the door early today. We did have some showers that were still around very early this morning, but those have since dissipated. Still some cloud cover hanging around though early today, but really no concern for rain as you head out the door this morning. Anywhere between about 75 and 78 degrees, so not a big temperature spread across the area, just a little warmer if you're out towards the coast. 77 this morning around Punta Gorda, 77 in Fort Myers as well. As we move into this afternoon, we will see showers and storms firing up across the area. Plus, it is going to be another very warm day for us here in Southwest Florida. High temperatures top out into the 90s for most places. It will be a little bit cooler close to the coast with temperatures there into the upper 80s. Part of the reason for that, we will see a developing sea breeze as we move into this afternoon. We'll be tracking that sea breeze, plus we'll talk more about the showers and storms that will fire up for us a little later on today. We'll do that coming up in the next few minutes.
The family of a missing Lee County teen found more than 1,000 miles away says human traffickers took the girl and she was saved just in time.
It can happen to anybody. No one was expecting it to happen to her.
14-year-old Katerina Castro disappeared from her Lehigh Acres home on Saturday. She went outside to use her cell phone, but never returned. Her family filed a missing persons report and detectives pinged her phone, and that led investigators to a van near Indianapolis. Katerina was inside and her family says she was not alone. There were 10 other girls in the car.
We don't know if they ever touched her, if they ever, hit her or did anything so she would listen to them. We don't know that.
Her family believes Katerina left willingly after she was promised a job, a common tactic of human traffickers, according to experts. At last check, Katerina is still in Indiana. Her family says they're not sure if she'll be brought back to Lee County or sent to live with relatives. An Amber Alert was never issued because investigators did not have all the necessary information required. NBC2 asked deputies why a missing child alert wasn't issued either. They didn't answer, only saying the case is still active.
New right now, the White House says it has found, quote, potential evidence that Syria is preparing for another chemical weapons attack. Press Secretary Sean Spicer making that announcement last night and said if it is carried out, the Syrian military will pay a heavy price. Spicer says current preparations are similar to those made before an April chemical attack. In response to that attack, the U.S. launched missile strikes. Meanwhile, in Washington, the debate over health care escalates. New numbers show the price tag of the proposed plan to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act. It's predicted the Senate health care bill will lead to more than 22 million Americans without health care coverage by 2026 and 15 million as soon as next year. But Republican leaders are still trying to vote on the bill by the end of the week. Edward Lawrence has the latest from Washington.
Thank you for being here.
President Donald Trump and Vice President Mike Pence aggressively pushed the Senate version of health care reform.
Members of the Senate will work over the course of the coming days to give us an opportunity to turn the page on the failed policies of Obamacare.
Today, the vice president will be on Capitol Hill for a round of meetings with Republican senators nervous about the Senate bill.
We're going to continue conversations, we're going to listen to the debate and then decide.
The Congressional Budget Office score may complicate things. It says by the year 2026, 22 million more people would be uninsured under the current bill, 15 million of those as soon as next year. It would cut federal spending by $321 billion in the same time period.
If you're on the fence, I'm not so sure this report helps you much.
Democrats say it would be a disaster.
Here is a Republican health proposal that is going to hit millions of working people and seniors like a wrecking ball.
In a statement, the White House says historically the numbers by the Congressional Budget Office have been wrong. The president supports the Senate Better Care bill. Edward Lawrence, NBC News, Washington.
The woman suspected of leaking classified documents from the National Security Agency will be in court today. Former NSA contractor Reality Winner is being held in a Georgia jail. The 25-year-old intelligence specialist is charged with mailing journalists highly classified documents about Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election.
The NAACP says the Fort Myers Police Department is making progress after an audit uncovered claims of racism and favoritism. Monday night, Fort Myers Police Chief Derek Diggs and State Attorney Stephen Russell answered questions from the NAACP and people living in the Dunbar community. Everything from more community programs to how bonds work in the justice systems were covered. Some Dunbar residents say they feel like the chief is making more of an effort.
This is just beginning. This is just beginning. It took years to get this mistrust. It's going to take time to get things running back the way it is. And events like this, getting the support of the NAACP, is helping us get to that direction.
A representative from the Department of Justice was supposed to be in attendance but did not show up. 3 suspected gang members were in court trying to get bond. They are part of a case against 24 men charged with racketeering and violent crimes. Ezekiel Berger, Dexter Williams, and David Neal faced a judge yesterday talking about bond money and attorneys. Last week, Jari McMiller was released from jail after his brother, NFL star and Lee County native Sammy Watkins' brother, he paid the $1 million bond.
A trial has been set for the Lee County teen accused of killing the man who allegedly molested her. Investigators say Lavia May killed Ted Lee in his Buckingham home last July. Days later, Kansas state troopers arrested May and 2 others after they were found driving Lee's car. A judge set her trial date for the beginning of August. One of the boys found with her pled no contest earlier this month. Bill Cosby is no longer part of the mural in Washington. The images of Cosby and former President Obama were included in the original artwork at the popular restaurant, but the images started to wear down, so a new version was unveiled. It shows about a dozen prominent African Americans, but not Cosby. The restaurant says the move has nothing to do with the sex assault allegations against him. The new faces were chosen through a national online poll. A family of a man shot and killed by a Minnesota police officer will receive $3 million. Philando Castile was killed in July of last year, this during a traffic stop. The officer thought Castile was reaching for a gun that he had a license to carry. His girlfriend live streamed the aftermath on Facebook. The $3 million settlement with his mother avoids a wrongful death lawsuit. The officer was acquitted earlier this month.
We learned the name of the man killed in Saturday's plane crash in Fort Myers. Mark Scott of Cape Coral was the passenger on the plane that slammed into the Chico's daycare. He was killed. The pilot, Anthony Greco, was seriously hurt. A pilot who was at Page Field told us yesterday as soon as the plane took off, he knew it was doomed.
Just wasn't developing full takeoff power. Oh my God, he's taking off, and he lifted the airplane off the runway, and I said, he's going to crash.
And there is no official word on why it crashed. The National Transportation Safety Board is leading the investigation and says it could take at least a year.
Right now, major wildfires are burning up tens of thousands of acres in the West, and they show no signs of stopping right now. California is among the states affected. The Manzanita wildfire has already scorched roughly 1,200 acres. It started after a traffic crash. Over in Utah, the Brian Head Fire, which started 10 days ago, has now grown to about 46,000 acres, and Mother Nature isn't helping the crews.
There's no break in the weather anticipated for at least the next 7 to 10 days. So how do we continue doing this? We strategize, we make good plans, we ensure the safety of the firefighters and the public, we make sure that we're moving in the right directions.
In Arizona, crews are battling several fires too, as temperatures are expected in the triple digits. A high-profile trial against a Southwest Florida police chief.
Ahead at 5:30, what we expect to learn about who supplied the live ammo that ultimately killed the Punta Gorda woman. And then in 15 minutes, sharks lurking in Cape Coral canals, and they are caught on camera.
But first, a trio of teens hit a Cape Coral auto shop. Only one is a familiar face, though.
And the must-see proposal that involves the entire family.
Time for your first alert forecast on the 2s, and we're approaching the end of the month. And as we take a look at some of the rain amounts that we've seen across Southwest Florida so far this month, pretty impressive here. Naples at Kensington Golf and Country Club, you've seen almost 20 inches of rain this month. Clewiston over 17 inches, Marco Island just over 14, Lehigh close to 14 inches here. Average for this month would be right around 10 inches, so some places doing a little bit better than that. We all know we definitely needed the rain. We're not tracking any rain as we're moving through this morning here. A little bit of feedback from the radar. Not seeing any showers out there, just a couple of clouds around as we're starting out the day. We will see a little bit of cloud cover around this morning, but still plenty of sunshine as we start the day as well. We start to see early in the afternoon a few showers showing up over South Florida, so this would mainly be south of Alligator Alley. It's later in the afternoon, closer to 2-3 o'clock, that we start to see that sea breeze setting in, and that's where we'll watch for a couple of showers and storms closer to the urban corridor. But the sea breeze looks like it's going to make it pretty far inland as we move into late this afternoon and into this evening. Some of these inland showers and storms today could put down some heavy rain and produce quite a bit of lightning, so we will be looking out for that. And after sunset, as that sea breeze relaxes, some of those showers and storms will work their way back towards the coast. We will see afternoon and evening showers and storms continuing as we move from Wednesday into Thursday, plus high temperatures will continue to be in the low 90s. We'll talk about how hot it's going to feel outside. We'll check in on the heat index values for today, plus we'll take a look ahead to the next 7 days. We'll preview the upcoming weekend. We'll do that coming up in less than 10 minutes.
Cape Coral police arrested 3 teens not even old enough to drive. They say the trio is behind at least 8 car burglaries at a Cape Coral auto repair shop. The owner of Driver's Choice Auto Center on Southeast 12th Court says he was working last Thursday when he saw 3 shadows sneaking around his property. He called police, who say the 2 15-year-olds and a 14-year-old hit at least 8 cars before being caught. One of the boys was familiar. He's on the high school bowling team with the shop owner's daughter.
And we sponsor practice shirts for them. And I mean, we know his family.
They broke into 2 of my vehicles, my personal vehicles, and they got into a couple of my customers' vehicles.
For now, deputies say just some loose change and sunglasses were taken. All 3 teens, though, are charged with burglary.
The Charlotte County Sheriff's Office is giving the community an inside look from the palm of their hand. It's using a new hashtag campaign on Twitter to keep people updated with what's happening in their world. Charlotte County deputies executed their first tweet along last Wednesday, giving a minute-by-minute update as they track down 2 teenagers who stole a car. The tweet-alongs won't happen every day, but the Sheriff's Office says it won't be the last one.
We're hoping to do them a little bit more often, but we really haven't have a set schedule of when we're going to do them.
To follow them on Twitter, their handle is CCSOFL Sheriff.
Right now, the 15-year-old son of a former Atlanta Braves player is on life support after he was hit in the face with a baseball. Jason Lockhart is the son of Keith Lockhart. Jason was hit while crossing home plate last week at a tournament. He was originally only given stitches after his injury, but days later he began to bleed uncontrollably. Doctors hope the life support will stop any movement that could further the bleeding. Jason's sister wrote on Facebook that another surgery is scheduled for today. And here on NBC2 News Today, we're looking at a closer look at physical activity and how it's not just sports that can bring injuries, but even day-to-day activities that require everyone to be careful.
Breaks, tears, and strains are common in physical contact sports, but they can also happen in your typical day-to-day physical activities. Wellness specialist Natalie Hughes says that one of the most important things you want to do before you start any type of exercise is making sure your body is prepared.
The worst thing you can do for your body is to just jump out there and get into action without really stretching the muscles first.
That stretching should be anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes or whenever your body is ready to go. In the case that you do have severe pain, swelling, or numbness from an injury, it's important to follow the Rice method. Rest. Give that injured area time to heal. Ice. Apply an ice pack for about 20 minutes at a time. Compression. Wrap the area with an elastic bandage. And elevation. If possible, keep the injured area above the level of your heart. It's crucial to follow the Rice method to prevent reoccurring injuries in the same location.
If you don't kind of go through that regimen of what you should do to take care of an injury, then yeah, you're going to be more likely to hurt something again because it wasn't necessarily healed.
And this morning on the Today Show, they will take a closer look at sports injuries and kids, particularly focusing on Jason Lockhart's story. And that's right after NBC2 News today at 6.
Happening today, experts will show you how to handle fireworks as safely as possible. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission hosts their annual fireworks demonstration in D.C. Experts will set off dramatic explosions on the National Mall. They'll create or recreate situations to demonstrate people who have been killed or seriously injured by fireworks. It's a warning they do every year before the 4th of July. A new parking garage in Naples could cost $15 million. The proposal is off 5th Avenue South. And Monday, advisory board meeting, the board voted to move forward with purchasing land to build the garage. The CRA will consider that recommendation at their August meeting and could approve it then. The garage would be funded from the CRA trust fund budget and would go on the west end of 5th Avenue. Most of the garages right now are on the east end.
Every couple has a story about their engagement, and for one Indiana couple, the soon-to-be husband popped the question to two ladies. Grant and Cassandra met on Facebook, and 6 months later, he proposed. He knew that dating a single mom meant she and her daughter, Adriana, came as a package deal, so he made sure they both had a say in the future.
I told Adriana to, hey, come here real quick, and then I bent down, got on one knee for her, and just asked her if I could be her daddy, and promised to love and protect her for all time.
It feels happy, but it almost made me cry, but I can't, but I was still happy.
And as you can see, Grant made sure a hidden photographer captured the moment that they will never forget. I saw this on Facebook yesterday. I teared up then. I'm tearing up again.
It's such
so
a cute
sweet.
story, right?
Oh my goodness. Such an inspirational story there.
Yeah, it is.
5:18 right now. Mosquitoes growing a tolerance to the chemicals used to fight them.
Ahead at 5:30, how Lee County Mosquito Control is getting around the resistance. Plus,
look at what is swimming right in our backyard.
Shark sightings in Cape Coral, what experts say brought the predator to a canal.
And as we check in on the planner for today, temperatures this morning will be into the 70s. We will quickly warm into the 80s by 10 o'clock. Upper 80s by lunchtime. We will be in the 90s later this afternoon. Plus, we'll see showers and some storms firing up. We're going to take a closer look on the other side of the break.
And get your day started right, beginning at 4 a.m. with Early Today, followed immediately by NBC2 News Today with the team you count on, starting at 4:30.